All right. Welcome to Dorico project number 2. We're going to do a hymn project, and I'm going to start here by creating a new project. And I think there's a couple ways to do this, but I'm going to, for this video, try to do the project with a piano score. As you can see here, we have soprano, alto, tenor, bass, choral score, but we only have a grand staff minus the bracket. So I'm going to try putting it in this way, and we'll see if it's a disaster or not. Okay, so I'm going to... This is where I'm not clear if I click on this solo piano or not, but we're going to try it. That's what we wanted. But we didn't get any of the information on the box to put in about the song. So we're going to have to do it the hard way, I guess, which isn't hard at all. So this piece is in the key of F major. So I'm going to hit Command I. We're going to put Amazing Grace. The composer is John Newton. I'm just going to copy that whole line and see how this works. I should have done that in the lyricist. My bad. The music is an American folk song. I'm going to put that in the composer field. And there's a copy right there. I'm going to put there. And this will be a good way to show you how tokens works. I'm going to copy this whole paragraph and put it in other information. And I'm going to hit apply and close. Now it's put all that text up here, which is great, but not great because it's not where I want it. So I'm going to come in here and actually edit, double click on the text that I want to get rid of and hit edit frame contents. And this is what's called a token for now. Okay, now another thing that I don't want is I don't want an indentation on line 1. So I'm going to hit Command Shift L to go into layout options, and I am going to go into staves and systems, and I'm going to scroll down here to where they have indents, and I'm going to take that out and make it 0 spaces and hit close, apply changes, and I got rid of my indent. Yay! Oh, let's get rid of the grand staff bracket first. Right?
Yeah, just go engrave and delete. If you delete one, I think it deletes all of them. Yeah.
Oh, look what it did.
Oh, there you go.
It got rid of our bar lines throughout.
Yeah.
That's all we got to do, right?
Yeah.
So now we're ready. Whew, that was not bad.
No.
All right, how many measures do we have in our original? We have an anacrusis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 bars. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. From here to here we don't need. I can just hit Shift B. I gotta get out of, that's my problem, I'm in engrave mode. I can highlight all these. I'm holding Shift Command and my right arrow key. And I hit the wrong button. I hit Shift down to select both staves. Shift Command right to highlight all the measures. And then I'm going to go to Edit, Delete Bars. Okay, so now we have this with the correct number of measures. We need to work on our anacrusis, which is a
It's,
tough thing to do, but
So,
in my Word doc, Dorico helps. I have how to do it. So let me open that. Shift M
yeah,
with the measure. Is that how you do it?
yeah.
This is how I've done it. Okay, let's see if this works.
You can also just double click the time signature.
Shift M. Are we even in the right time signature yet?
Yeah.
Oh, we need to be in 3/4. Second?
Double click it.
Yep.
So, there you go. I'm just changing it to 3/4, comma 1.
So now we're in 3/4, so I'm gonna double click this.
Yeah. And just add comma 1.
Comma 1.
And that adds 1 beat to it.
Nice. We now have our anacrusis. All right, just for fun, for layout, for ease of layout, it looks like we have 4 measures, complete measures on line 1, 6 on line 2, and 6 on line 3. So I'm going to go to engrave mode. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I know I told you last time you can just hit the less than sign or the period button and knock it down, but another way you can do it right here in the top left corner is move to next system. Does the same thing.
Another way of doing it is going into.
Somehow though, we now have more than 16 measures.
Oh, you have to adjust. Wait, how did we end up with more than 16? Did that create measures there when you dropped it down?
I don't know what happened. 1, oh, we don't want the system break there either. 4, 5, 6. Need to be in grave mode. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now our structure is more or less like it is in the original. Our tempo is 76 to 92. I'm going to try to hit Command T. No, didn't want to do that. Shift T is what I wanted. Shift T. I think I need a note first. Let's put in our first note. It is a middle C. So I need to be back in right mode. Okay, I now have a note. Shift T. 76 to 92. That's not what I wanted.
You want the little beat?
I want the quarter note.
So you're gonna have to bring up the properties menu at the bottom. So enter your tempo.
Yep. Shift T.
And then it should be somewhere in there.
Metronome mark shown. Oh. Look what they did.
And then there's another one. I think you need to click on where it says is approximate. Oh, that wasn't it.
No. Tempo range is what we want. Oh my goodness.
Shoot, you want to click that box.
I'm just gonna undo everything I just did. Shift T. What if we do this?
You
tempo range.
There you go.
And we want it through. Whoa, what does that do? Beats per minute.
Oh, so on the left hand side where it says tempo, you enter your final tempo, and then the range will give you.
Where?
So where you see there, right below that, there's where you enter your final tempo.
76?
Yeah.
Okay. But how do I get it to be 72 through 76?
And then go to the tempo range.
Yep.
And then I think right there is where you put 72. Where did I go? Yeah, you put 72 there.
Aha. Good call, Angel for the win. All right, that's what we want. I'm going to remind you of this cool little trick. You can hit the tilde button, which on my computer is before the 1 button, and it'll delete all that stuff and show you what actually is going to print. That's another Angel tip for you. Okay, I want to get rid of bar lines. I'm going to go to Command-Shift-L, bar lines, and select none. Apply and close so I don't have those bar lines anymore. All right, we're doing it. At this time, I think I want to get a MIDI keyboard and hook that up. Okay, so I have my MIDI keyboard hooked up. I hope. We're about to find out, I guess. And I'm going to split my screens here. So I can kind of see what's going on both screens at the same time. Okay. Now we're going to go over, as you'll see, we've got some mixed rhythmic values. But I'm going to go ahead and double click here. I need to hit the half note. Good. Now I'm going to go to eighth note mode. I could come over here and click, or I could also hit the 5 button to get in eighth note mode. There it is. I'm going to go back to 7 to be in half note mode, 6 for quarter, 7 for half, 6 for quarter, 7 for half, 6 for quarter, and you'll notice I put a B flat in. You know why? Because I forgot to put in my key signature, which is 1 flat, B flat. But it's putting it in wherever my cursor is. So I need to go back, select my first note, put in my key signature. There we go. So I want you to go ahead and put in the first line of notes, or all your notes for a single voice, and we'll go from there. We'll pick it up here. So try to put in both clefs notes for one voice. All right, we are back. I have put in my soprano line along with the altos if they shared the same rhythmic value. But if they didn't share the same rhythmic value, I did not put the alto line in yet. And then I did the same in the bass clef. I put in the bass and the tenor if they shared the same value. But if they didn't, I only put in the bass notes, not the tenor notes. So you'll see in measure 1, beat 3, I have an 8th note in the soprano, but a quarter note in the altos. All right, so let's fix that. Okay, so you'll see my quarter note stem is currently going up on the right of the note. I need to hit Shift V to create another voice. Now you'll see it's +2. And now I can come over here, hit my quarter note, and it gave me the quarter note, but you'll notice that the spacing's kind of scawampus. So I'm gonna right click that note and go to stem, force stem down, and all is good in the world again. I need to do the same thing here, Shift V, and I need to be on 8th notes. Wow, that sounded in the right spot. There we go. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm actually going to click this beam so both are highlighted. I'm going to go to stem, force stem up, stem, force stem down, and it looks just like the original. So now you can go put that in for all of the notes that have mixed rhythmic values. While I have you, Dorico's not playing nice, and they did not give us an incomplete measure at the end. We found 2 ways to fix that. Neither of them are nice or neat, but here's one way you can do it. You click the notes, you hit Option I, which puts us in insert mode. Okay, I'm going to put my mouse here. Insert player, we don't want to do that. Insert global, we don't want to do that. We want that one. Insert adjustment, global adjustment of current bar. Now when we do it, it will delete the rest. And then we're going to go to our properties panel at the bottom and hide time signature. And that's how you delete that unwanted rest at the end of the bar. So go ahead and get all your notes in and then rejoin us in the next video or the next portion of the video where we'll do lyrics. All right, welcome back to Project 2. We're going to try and finish this up today. We need to put in lyrics. We need to put in the text. And we need to put in the introduction brackets, if we can figure out how to do that. All right. You could go and type in all the lyrics, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to look up the Amazing Grace lyrics and copy and paste them. So I got this from a website, so I'm going to go to that website and find my website lyrics. Maybe, if I'm lucky. I thought, there we go. Here they all are. So I'm going to copy and paste these lyrics. Then I'm going to go back over into Dorico. And pray I remember how to do this. All right, so we got to click the keyboard over here. And then come down here where it says V1 for lyrics. But to do that, you have to have a note selected. If you don't have a note selected, it's not going to work. Now, there's an issue with the lyrics, and the issue is that there are hyphenated words like amazing that need to be split up to may, and zing. So we need to do that in some kind of a word editor, text editor. So I'm just going to open up Microsoft Word because that's what I have. Start a new blank document, and I'm going to paste the lyrics. And I think I can get away with just a hyphen. Well, the first verse is great because there's only one word that has a hyphen or needs a hyphen. All right, so there's verse 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put a hyphen on promised and secures and portion
Dorico madness?
and endures. That's the only 4 words that have a hyphen on verse 2. Verse 3, many needs a hyphen.
Here's the
Dangers. Already needs a hyphen. And that's it. That's all the words that need hyphens. All right, so let's give this a try. I'm going to copy verse 1 because my popover here, which by the way is Shift L, has a specific verse 1 number on it. So then I'm going to hit paste. So select the note, Shift L, amazing. You have to keep hitting paste. So for me, it's Command V. And then if you want to skip, you hit your right arrow. Oh no! So after Grace, there's one of those dashes, and there's not a space. So I have to put that space in or I'm toast. Let's try that again. Third time's the charm. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that. Nope, that didn't do it right. Why didn't it do that right? Boy. I want to say it's better than finale, but on most days I don't know that it necessarily is.
Do you think it's more intuitive than finale?
In a lot of ways, yes. But not like the lyrics was a pain in the butt in finale, but here it's just as big of a pain in the butt. I used to think it was great, but now I don't.
Are the syllables tied to notes?
Yes.
I know that's how finale did it.
But this one just skipped a whole note, and I don't know why. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that. It skipped that. Oh, I see what happened. I had to put a space in after the M dash, which is that line, I think.
Yeah.
And then it.
The M dash, that's the double hyphen, right?
Right. And then Dorico interpreted that space as another word. So if it doesn't line up just right, you're doing it all over again.
I always wondered what the M stood for in M dash.
Well, it's EM, isn't it?
I don't know, I can't read anymore. So it is, yeah, I think you're right, it is, so what does that mean? M dash.
I thought you would know from some podcast.
Okay, I gotta check it out.
My
My job has been set for the
because
day.
it's the width of a capital M.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I don't know if it's true, but that's what Google's telling me.
Oh, alright. So random.
Yeah.
All right, I got verse 1 in. Woo! All right, back to Word for verse 2. Copy and paste. And then I'm going to go back up to the top, select my first note, hit Shift L. But I need to switch that to verse 2 with the up arrow, and then I'm going to hit Command V. I don't know the words for the second verse. Okay, that's working. Nope, I didn't want to do that. Dang it, I messed it up. Okay, let's see if I can edit it. So I'm going to go back to Word. I'm just going to select where I messed up. Copy. Shift L. Make sure I'm in the second verse. Dang it. I didn't want to do that. Oh, I'm going to try to do it from portion because portion's a hyphenated word. Shift L. Verse 2. Portion B. As long as life endures. Yes. Verse 2 is done. All right, last one. Did this save more time than just typing it all out by hand? That remains to be seen. Shift L, arrow to make it verse 3. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. Advance for the tie here. Uh-oh. I lost my text. I'm going to do it again. His grace has brought me safe thus far, and grace will. Oh, I didn't want that one. I had 3 words left and I botched it. Shift L. Lead me home. Done. Lyrics are in. All right, we got to do text next. So on my PDF here, there's a text bit, and I think I already copied and pasted this, but I'm going to copy it again just in case. I'm going to go over to Command I in Dorico, and it's listed as other information. So Dorico uses this thing called tokens, which are kind of a hassle. But if I want to put in a token over here,
Yeah.
and then text box, and then
So is this something you can only do on like Dorico Pro? You can't create text boxes in on the iPad version.
it's not letting me do that.
Do it again?
It's not letting me do that. Do I want that to be in this box then?
Which one? What are you? Which text are you
I'm
adding?
trying to put in this text at the bottom.
Okay, so it should be this right here,
Right,
that,
right.
and then you should be able to click and drag where you want the text box. So that's already a text box that's been made.
Right.
So you gotta click in an empty space.
And
You
then it
should-
takes me out of write mode. It puts me in write mode.
So you're not double clicking, you're just clicking and dragging when you create it. There you go. And now that's a text box.
Sweet.
So you could either you could add that text one or
Okay,
two.
so now I need to put in. Sorry, you were saying.
So you can either do it as a token, or you could just use it as plain text. And with plain text, you can manipulate the
Right.
size of the font.
I want to try it as a
And-
token because there was a ton of stuff.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna go this,
it's
that,
always copying and pasting.
other information,
I think so.
that, this.
And then when you click out,
Oh no, it needs to be Is it prod? What is it?
yeah, I think you have to have project in front of it.
Project, other information.
Well,
No.
it's one of those things you probably just have to Google what's the token. It's other info.
Not information.
No, they abbreviate other info.
Those punks.
Would you like help?
No, no.
All right, let's see if taking information and changing it to info worked. Hey, it did, but it's way
Too big.
Too big.
That's why I like using plain text because you can manipulate some.
All right, so I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna copy and paste it. It's still too big. It's better.
And yeah, you can modify the size of the text
Yeah.
there, and then you can italicize words as well.
I think I'll just do the same thing with this other while I'm at it.
Yeah, you can just copy and paste that text.
I'm gonna use the same text box. I'm gonna delete my other text box and take this text box bigger. And then I'm gonna play with it in formatting. I want more room for my text, so I'm gonna, while I'm here in engrave mode, I'm gonna click on staff spacing, and I'm going to play with these staves and pull them up like that. Which is gonna give me more room for my text box. Click back here on the frames button and stretch that out a bit. There we go. I like that, but my text here is italicized. So I'm going to check italic for that. And music is italicized. So I'm going to change that from regular to italics. And then this little bit right here is really small. So I'm going to drop that down to 5. That looks better. All right, up at the top of this document, there are some scriptures referenced. I'm just going to copy and paste that as a text box. I'm going to drop that in. Oh, come back. Drop that down to like 5 points, maybe. Maybe that's too small. Did it select all my text? What is it doing? I don't need that line. What does that look like? I'm going to drop that down maybe to 18. Maybe even more, to 16. There we go. This one doesn't have a hymn number, so we don't need to put that in. So now we just need to put in our our introduction brackets for our accompanist, whether that's an organist or a pianist. They follow this bracket, and then this bracket, and this bracket to play as an introduction before the congregation comes in and starts singing. So, introduction brackets, do we remember how to do that?
It's gonna be in your right hand, pop over, it's gonna be on the palette. It's gonna be under, there's 2 different ways you can make it. Well, there's 2 different ways I made it. So, you're gonna click on your lines, and then you could either use that line, the vertical line with the hook,
Yep.
or the horizontal line with the hook, or you can use the vertical line with the hook. You can use either or, and then you grab the handles and you in engrave mode, and you grade it. Then you click F to flip it.
But I don't. Where's the other one?
Which one?
The reverse of that with the hook on the one side.
So I just flip it.
Oh, you flip it.
Yeah. So I think I used the horizontal one, and I just flipped it.
Now, does this tie to a note head?
Yes. And you can always move it around as you need, and
So we're gonna flip that.
and engrave.
There's another one on
So usually what I do is just
that.
make the first one and then control click the second one. Is it control click or is it alt click? I think it's control.
And then our last word is blind. All right.
Click F to flip it.
F will flip it the wrong way.
Oh, how did I do it? I think if you drag with the one, yeah, there you go.
Nice. Let's get that more.
And I like using Alt and the arrow keys to move handles, so. And then Command Alt moves them along bigger increments.
Sweet.
The only time I like dragging handles is if I need to move something across like big distances.
Yeah. So I'm holding Option Command to move big distances, right?
Yes.
I want that in just a little bit more So it looks more like a square. Ah!
Alt and arrow keys is steps, and command and alt is leaps.
And then I can look at my original. Oh, it's right on the bar line. It is right on the bar line. Cool. And I can line up my other one. Ah! Let's go down just a bit. Cool. There's that bracket. And I'm going to do the top one here. Select this handle and move it on in. Something like that. And then the other one over here. That's pretty slick, actually. And it's just inside the 3/4. Gonna move it up just a bit so it lines up with my other one. I have some rests up here that I want to get rid of. I'm gonna go to edit. Got to be in write mode. Edit, remove rests. Edit, remove rests. So you should have enough info now to get your HIM project done. If you do have questions, let me know. And I'll try to help where I can. Hope you've enjoyed getting this project done. You never know when you're going to be able to land a church gig. I see them advertised quite a bit here in town. So hopefully this will help you in your career somewhere down the line. Thanks. And a shout out to Angel Cruz for knowing all the answers. What a guy.